So, what should my project be this weekend?
I think we should clean up the pond and maybe add fish.
Ooh, I can do that. All right, so we've got a larger pond feature down here. You know, it's dig out the dirt, you sit the thing down in there, it's like a liner. We got a smaller one up there, so the pump's down here, it pumps water up there, comes down, nice little waterfall. Everything's great, we like it, it's very peaceful and quiet. We got some lily pads growing down here. Okay, we planted those 3 years ago. They didn't do anything. It's nice to see they finally grew when we started not paying any attention to them. We've got a couple of pots that we stacked up and we planted little things in them. We need to tend to that. This ivy here was, well, it was a housewarming gift to us, and it was in a tiny little thing in a 6-inch pot, and it was on the front porch, and well, it wasn't doing so well. And then the people that gave it to us were coming for dinner, and so we quick stuck it in the ground and watered it and hoped it would, you know, like not look dead when they got here. Well, a couple years later, yeah, it's not dead. And then we've got some ivy here. We got some, and it's got briars, the prickly little things growing on there. They're sharp. Look at that thorn right there. Yeah, they'll bite you. So we're gonna get some chains and winches and stuff and yank that out of there. So we got some plant life going on. I've got an idea for an arbor over here. Something I got at the shop that I think might work, and we might have to like move some of our gardenias around or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna run to the shop here real quick and work on that. And then also we've got a pond scum problem down here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
We have pond scum?
we have pond scum. Yes, we have to drain the swamp, as it were. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some of this ivy out of here. We're going to leave the those behind. I've got an idea for a little arbor here that might let the ivy kind of grow up and over the pond a little bit. We want to put fishies in here. And the problem is the sun's there right now, and then it creeps over here, and it's up here in the afternoon, and it kind of beats down pretty hot and heavy on the pond, and the fish don't like it. And then the birds fly in and pluck the fishes out of there, and it's just like, you know, nature. So I want to put a little cover here, maybe give them a little shade, kind of a little protected area back there. Think there's snakes in here? Probably. Found the best way to clean up the pond and just kind of rejuvenate it is just to get rid of the old. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flush it with water. We're going to fill it, and it's going to overflow and it's going to flush. It's going to make a lot of the stuff at the bottom come to the top, and at that point we're going to skim it off. But I just see when I get over to the shop, I got an idea for getting rid of the scum. Alright, so we got the hose in the top pond because we want to flush it too. And you can see the water starting to fill up and it's coming out. And it looks pretty clean, but it's not. You can see the stuff starting to float up a little bit. We might go ahead and get the pressure washer out here because I really like to clean up these pots and get rid of some of these cobwebs and just kind of clean that up. And I might disturb them while I'm doing this, but we got a couple of really big old frogs living here. Hopefully no snapping turtles. Big one here.
That's disgusting.
You give me a plastic bag, we'll put them in a plastic bag and give them a proper burial.
Oh. Farewell, frog.
Guess what happened to him? He croaked. All right, guys. I think Jen's got this under control. I'm gonna change my clothes. I'm gonna run to the shop. I got two things I want to work on. One is a arbor idea I've got for over the pond. Now we got to clear that a little bit better. And two is a some sort of a vacuum system to maybe get some of the junk out of the pond. I hope I don't suck up any more dead frogs. That wouldn't be good. Or snake or anything else. But let's go try to make a couple projects at the shop, shall we? All right, so here I am at the shop, and the idea I was talking about for the garden is right there. It's actually half of a desk. It stands up this way, like that. That's the reception desk. Here's the top part, all right? Come around here, and then here's the lower part with the phone and the computers and all that sit, and then here's storage down here for whatever. Paperwork and pens and pencils and stuff like that. So I had two of these, and I had original thoughts for them. That plan didn't pan out, so this is the new ideas for the garden. So let me get it over here out of the grass. This is kind of the scrap metal pile over here. That's a frame out of a '64 Triumph, and that's well, that used to be a Miata. There's a dryer over there and some tile displays. And an old trailer there I got to put an axle on, and some parts left over from a tractor. All right, I rolled it over here. Aren't you just tempted to stand on it and see if it'll teeter-totter? I mean, I know I am. Woohoo! See? That's pretty cool, right? So, the idea is it's too wide this way. I want to cut some of this off, kind of cut it in half, make it a little bit smaller. It's going to go this way and go over where the water comes out of the fountain. Let me get down before I break something. Something I was about to break was probably my neck. All right, let's get grinder set up. You want to put the safety glasses on over here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it. So I'm going to keep this ring and these supports and this ring. I'm going to get rid of everything. Once you break a bar, they just kind of come right off. So I guess what I got to cut through is this plate up here. And I think these bars will just break there actually. This project's going to go a little faster than I had imagined. Let's cut this thing. Alright, I'm hoping now if I just pop this side up in the air, it'll just break off whatever welds are left. I didn't want to go through all the way and have it fall apart. Well, I had the grinder going. The idea is this will go over our pond. Probably going to shoot some new black paint on there, just make it fresh and clean. But that'll go over top of the pond. And basically, the water's coming out down here. The ivy will grow up through here. There's lots of places for ivy to grab hold of. They'll hold the ivy up off the water. And that'll also give a little bit of shade for the fish down there, because the sun kind of beats on them a little bit during the day. This will shade part of the pond so they can kind of get up in the shaded area a little bit. That's my thought anyway. So That's what we're going to do. We're going to set that over top of the pond and let the ivy grow over it. It also gives us a little bit more privacy on the front porch because it'll kind of build a little sort of privacy wall. We're going to get back over to the house and continue this project. Wait, before we go back to the house, there's one more thing I want to work on. Remember we said we got to clean the pond out? Yeah, so I'm thinking about building something to clean the pond out. I don't know if it'll work yet. We're going to find out together. So first thing I want to do is go into the shop and run a little test. But I pulled apart a jacuzzi tub this week. Part of one of our renovation jobs, we were ripping out a jacuzzi. And as we were taking it off, the pump fell off the back side of it, and there's all the hoses and the pipe. And I thought, you know what? I wonder if that would work as a sewage pump, lifting up the dirt and stuff out of the bottom of there. Can we run it through some sort of a filter system and recycle the water right back into the pond? Can we run it a few times and let the filter take a little bit more out each time? I don't know. Ever seen that done before? I haven't. I guess I could look on here and see if somebody else has. Let's try it. We're going to head up to the shop. We're going to do this project indoors because, well, you know, if you're working with water and stuff, why wouldn't you want to do it indoors where it can leak and run out and everything else? We're going to head upstairs and build the what I'm calling the Scum Sucker 4000. I don't know why I'm calling it the 4000. It's not like it replaces the 3000 or the 2000. It's not like it's not quite the best model, which is the 5 or the 6000. It's just the Scum Sucker 4000. Play along. I don't know. It's just the name I got for it. All right. Let's pretend that this is going to work. First of all, this is the motor, the pump, as it were, out of a jacuzzi tub. And this is the plumbing from it. What actually happens with the jacuzzi tub, though, is this sits at the end of the tub. This sits at the side of the tub. There's a filter basket that goes on here, which, of course, we use for sucking scum. And water flows through here into the pump, and then it's ejected out here into the tub through the jets, right? The problem is, I mean, the water input is at the same height as the pump. So when a pump has to pull water up, that's called lift. It doesn't have to lift it at all. The water just kind of flows right into it. So the first thing I'm probably going to run into is the pump won't have enough lift. That's my first prediction. I want to take an old vacuum cleaner hose and attach it to this junction like so. And then I want to see if I can use this to pull water out of the pond. Then what we'll do is, for now, we're just going to have these return lines just shoot the water right back into the pretend pond. And what my thought is that it actually won't shoot it back into the pretend pond. It would shoot it into a 5-gallon bucket. When it goes into the top of the 5-gallon bucket, which is open, there's a piece of screening attached to the top of the bucket. So debris goes through the screen. So it'll pull out the bigger chunks of stuff. And then about halfway down the bucket, we could have a spout that comes out for the hose that goes back to the pond. Then the bucket will fill up with the water, but when it's halfway full, it starts dumping water back into the pond. The idea there is that the water, while it's sitting in that bucket, some of that sediment will sink to the bottom of the bucket and not end up going back into the pond. I don't know if it's going to work. My money's on nabob because of the lift. I think if I get the water into here, I think it'll go through, and I think the filter idea will work, but I don't think the lift on the pump's going to work. Pipe, hose, not a good fit. We're going to lose some suction there. Ooh, and that fitting's just a little bit too big, and we'll go inside of that pipe. So next, let's cut this coupler in half here that somebody bought over at Kmart for 69 cents. The plumber that put this thing in is shopping at Kmart. That's funny. Better pay extra for a certified plumber because they get their fittings at Kmart. That just kind of strikes me funny. They charge an arm and a leg, and they're shopping at Kmart. All right, we're back here with this fitting. This is the bigger end of the pipe. Oh. It's really close to wanting to go over top of that. I wonder if we could scooch it around on a grinder a little bit, or Pretty happy with that. Let's put some tape on there just to hold it. Always use the correct tape. Blue is for water. But I've got this. This is Scotch Super 88 vinyl electrical tape because the pump plugs in, so it's practically electrical. Here we are. It's a pump ratchet strapped to a bucket of pottery. Give it some weight. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to bring this out straight like this, and the reason for that is I'm going to attach these two to here because I want to make sure they're shooting into the bucket. They're my return lines. I don't want them shooting all over the shop. That's how I normally do things, and well, try and do it right. We're just going to wrap this around here like this. This might have come out of here with, I don't know, a lot of force. I don't know. I might get wet. I'm going to go get a bucket of water and fill this. And then the idea is we've got quite a long hose. Let's say it's an 8-footer. And we'll try it with the loop down on the ground first and see if that pulls. And if that doesn't pull, then we'll go ahead and try it with the loop. Actually, we're going to try it with the loop up on the table saw here first. So it's only lifting a little bit, but it's got to draw it a ways. You know, there's the lift and the run, and pumps are rated differently. Like a well pump has a lot of lift. It shoots that stuff way up with a lot of pressure, and then it's got a lot of run because it goes to the house. But a pump like this probably doesn't have a lot of lift, and I mean, as far as it's not pushing it very far. Let's find out. I put a little extra water in there because we got a 2-inch diameter hose. It's 8 foot long. The 2-inch diameter hose holds 0.1633 gallons of liquid per foot. Times 8 feet is going to give you like a 1.3064 gallons of water. So make sure you get enough water in your pump because, I mean, we got to pump 1.5 gallons just to fill the hose before it even gets to the pump, and then it comes out here. So I had to go a little ways for water because I don't water my shop, so I had to down through the offices to the kitchen. And so I had a little bit of time to think about this. Why couldn't this pump be mounted permanently to the top of the yellow bin? The yellow bin could actually be my 5-gallon bucket where the water filters in. So this hose here could just turn around and go right back into here. And then on the other side, when it goes through into here, we could drill a round hole out and we could drop a colander, strainer kind of kitchen thing, Walmart, in there. And then the water would go through there first. Grab that. You could take it out, knock it out. It'd be easier than trying to put a screen over top of a 5-gallon bucket. And then halfway up on the side of this thing here, you could have your little spout that comes right back out and feeds the pump again. The only thing is the pump would have to sit above the height of the pond so that the water filters back out. So, and then the whole thing would be one unit. You pick it up. We could mount a GFI receptacle on the top because this is slightly not safe if the pump falls in the pond, especially if you're wading around there with your feet, your socks off, and, you know, that'll wake you up. So let's get going here. I thought of another idea. Let's put a power adapter with a switch on it here. So let's see. I can run this into here. And now when I hit the button, pump should come on. So I've got my hose up on the table saw. Let's see if we can draw water out of the bucket and into here. Cheer with me. It's not going to work. Told you it won't work. Should check the pump first. Is there a circuit breaker on the back? There is no switch. It's plugged into a switched outlet in most home situations, and the power just comes on and off the outlet. Well, there you go. Hello? Well, that looks now like it did a lot of work for nothing. Well, there's no switch on it. There's no external switch. There's no visible moving parts. It's got a little, I think that's just like to let air in. I don't think it's an on-off switch. It is. You guys ever seen these? It's a little air switch. I'll have to hook it up. You can buy a little air switch, and all it does is people use them for garbage disposals. It keeps you from getting electrocuted. You pop on it, and it gives a shot of air. The shot of air goes through and triggers the on-off switch inside the pump. So there's no literal connection between you and the pump. We have to prime the pump, maybe? See, now go. So this is what I was talking about, a little bit of the problem with the lift. It's not going to lift enough water. It's burbling and regurgitating. Oh, the pump. Oh, hang on. Ah, the hose is getting heavy. It's filling up with water, I think. It's just running slow. Problem is, pump's running dry. Not good for a pump to run dry because the water going through the pump helps lubricate the pump and keep it cool. So you don't really want to run your pump dry too long. Don't be out there dry pumping, guys. It's not good for anybody. So you'll notice we've had no water to the exit point yet. My thought is maybe go ahead cutting this hose significantly shorter. And let's see what happens. So let's try to do it up here. Still leave myself a little bit of room. So I got some length going into the pool, the pond. Well, it's wet inside. Water definitely came through this way. We don't have a blockage in the pipe. Oh, that's looking. Oh yeah, nice. That just ran pump water all over the place. That's nice. Okay. It worked. I was hoping we could prime the pump and get a little... Wait, I hear something. Might just take a minute. I just don't like them running the pump dry this whole time. Throws the water quite nicely when it comes out, doesn't it? It's not picking up anything though. I still like my idea. We might look around for a different pump. Something's got a little bit of pull. I mean, there's always the idea of using a sub pump, but you'd have to put a pre-filter on it so you don't ruin the impeller in the sub pump. Sub pump's an option. I'm going to turn this thing off. Hang on. Let me just blow into it. It's like drinking too much and losing your license, and you got to blow in the car to make it start. I think I'm going to research some pumps, because I really like my idea. Might just run over to the Harbor Freight, break out the billfold, and get a sewage pump. They've got them. They've got some lift to them. We'll do a little research on that. Maybe I can find something that'll work that way. But this has been fun, regardless of whether it works or not. Trying something is fun, and it doesn't always work. But sometimes it leads to the next thing and the next thing. You know why they call it WD or WD-49? WD-49? Why they call it 49? Or what's another one? There's a few of them like that. And they've got different names because that was a 49th different try. So, yeah, this is try number 1. We're going to say it's a failure. It looks cool. That's a good idea of it. Wrong pump. So we're going to find a different pump. Look what I made. Think it's going to work? Alright. Looking good so far. Look over here. Uh-oh. Did I do that? It doesn't matter. You guys are coming out anyways. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a sucking sound.
Excuse you.
Yeah, tell me about it. Wow. Oh, more suckage.
To all of you who are watching, proper footwear
Is
is
important.
always important when you're doing garden work.
Gloves and footwear, folks. All right, let's release the new fishies into the pond. There they go. We're gonna put 10 of them in here. There we are. We have fishies. And I'd just like to point out the bush back there. It's very healthy. I think it's doing great. Just a few hours later. They're already hiding. But the pond's a lot clearer. We'll be able to see them when they come to the top. Okay guys, so we got our arbor in, we got our pond water cleared out, we got our fish in, we got the scum out of the pond, and then we got it cleaned out. And we found a dead frog. Well, that's exciting stuff. So we also, we made a new friend. Friend, say hello to YouTube. This is Mabel. So you're gonna hear all about Mabel in our next video. And we've already shot it. And it's gonna be a good one. So please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button. I don't want you to miss the video of us getting Mabel and what we're doing with Mabel. And thanks for the support, and thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. Have a great day. Don't be out there dry pumping, guys. It's not good for anybody. You can start. Take two. Take two.